We've had a fun but chaotic week, so we wanted a game to match the mood. And what better than Castle Crashers? Probably the biggest crime we've pulled on this channel is playing BattleBlock before Castle Crashers, but hopefully we can make up for it this week. And besides, we owe it to our childhoods to feature this pinnacle of human cooperation on our channel. It's a story of camaraderie and competition, love and betrayal. There's nothing quite like your boyfriend trying to brutally slaughter you in order to kiss a different princess. But what else would you expect from a Castle Crashers date night? What the hell?
What you doing kissing another girl?
I got a new princess.
When it comes to hacking and slashing, I usually picture swinging around our swords and clubs. But in Castle Crashers, spells are where our allegiance lies. I feel like every time we play, he has to be the red one and I have to be the blue one. There's actually a bunch of others you can unlock, many of which we have unlocked, but ice and lightning are just too potent of a combo.
Told you to stay frozen, damn it.
We pretty much always go for maxing the magic stat first, because it's just so fun. Unlocking the different upgrades to our spells and getting to see them hit big numbers never gets old. I'm pretty sure the whole reason we love the Red Knight so much is because of the little skeletons the enemies show when you electrocute them. And playing as blue while yelling Mr. Freeze lines never gets old either.
What killed the dinosaurs?
What killed the dinosaurs?
Ice Age!
I've been told that there's a shield, but I've yet to see it make an appearance in combat.
I just want to reiterate, we have a shield in this game.
We have a shield.
I'm always too busy swinging around wildly to worry about blocking. I don't doubt that it's useful or that it would help me stay alive longer, but you've got to understand, I'm deeply immersed in the offense is the best defense philosophy. I'm not sure how much blocking matters when the enemy could just be dead before it touches me. Still, some of the beefier ones don't go down as quick, and that's where the shield would probably shine the most. Whenever it comes in handy, he never skips an opportunity to remind me that I have one and that I ought to try using it.
And we got a shield. I cannot reiterate enough, we have a shield in this game, Taryn.
Level ups are both a blessing and a curse.
Tarn glowed.
On the one hand, it's a fun dopamine rush every time one of us glows, especially when the full heal comes in at a clutch moment.
Oh, thank God, what a time to level up.
You glowed!
I glowed!
On the other hand, if we unlock a new combo, the text bubble covers the battlefield, which leaves us both blind and distracted.
What a time to level, I can't see anything. Sprint! That's what was wrong. Oh, I'm underground.
To add insult to injury, we'll completely miss what the button combos were if we were busy fighting for our lives.
So what was the roll?
What was what? You use B and then the trigger to do the new magic.
Well, yeah, but with the rolling.
What rolling?
When you're running and then you roll.
Oh, I don't know. What are you yelling about, man?
I guess we'll just have to live with never knowing what could have been.
Look at my moves. You like my moves? Here.
Damn! I don't know how it happens, but we always start at the same level, and then by the end of the evening, he's got like a 5-level lead on me. It seems like the further we get into the game, the wider the gap in our progress gets. We're killing the same enemies, and yet he's doing it better somehow. The crazy thing is, you get experience based on how many hits you do. So you'd think the weaker one of us would catch up by hitting more, but I guess that just highlights how much I rely on him.
Look at all the experience.
You have literally double what I got.
Wait, are those the kills we got? 21 for you and 85 for me.
What the hell?
I kept thinking B is for rolling. I don't know what the deal is, but as soon as I see a game with a sword and a shield, a switch just flips in my head. You can take the girl out of Dark Souls, but you can't take the Dark Soul out of the girl. In Castle Crashers, that button is assigned to your items, so I'm constantly using things I don't mean to. And nothing throws off my game like thinking I'm about to dodge a big attack and instead going Hokamania from eating a sandwich.
Oh God, I'm on fire. Ouch.
Oops.
Yeah, I can see why maybe you ran through all your potions.
I've got the worst habit of dropping everything I'm doing when I see a coin and running to pick it up instead of fighting. The main reason being that accidentally drinking all my potions is burning a massive hole in my wallet. We'll be surrounded by enemies when a coin drops, but since money isn't shared, we've got to compete for the treasure.
Yes.
Pet for sale.
Just so we have it.
Well, Why don't you buy it just so we have it?
I don't have the money.
Well, because you spent all your money.
I feel like I've kind of earned it from leaving him to fend things off on his own. I hate to leave him hanging all the time, but whenever something sparkly drops, my eyes tend to glaze over. Plus, the only chance I have to beat him to the goodies is when he's distracted with a fight.
Seeing you go for that money and whiff every hit is amazing.
Don't let him fool you with his "I just wanted to grab it before it despawned" argument, because those crocodile tears need some work. It's every girlfriend for herself out here, and if I didn't play like this, I'd never be able to afford a damn thing. Nick!
I'm just making sure no one else takes it.
His version of this was with food. He's always picking up the healing items, and I can promise if you look at our health bars, more often than not, one of us needs it a lot more than the other. He claims it's all for the good of the team because he's got to stay alive long enough to revive me. But I'm the only one pointing out that he wouldn't have to revive me so much if not for him hogging all the food.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Thanks.
That definitely was... Well... You're welcome. Sorry.
It feels like he knows all the secrets hidden around the game, despite not having played it in years.
Oh my god, it's a little cat.
He'll tell me to stop and then run over to a bush and hit it before an apple falls out and we can keep going.
There it is. Okay, I was like, I know there's some food around here.
I swear, this is exactly why I can't screw up around here, because he'll remember it forever, and then next thing you know, it's getting brought up at dinner 10 years later.
Yeah, cool off.
I'm a little suspicious that he might have done a run ahead of time, because he's almost too good. Now, if we could just find a way to apply this to where he leaves his keys, we'd have a lot more time on our hands at home.
Eating some fruit?
I do.
Cool.
The pets, more officially known as orbs, are my favorite collectible to go after.
It's a little seahorse.
I don't care what the proper nomenclature is, they're pets to me.
There's something
The
back
thing is
here.
singing back there. There's a pet back there. You got the owl.
They've got different perks and buffs, but the most important side of all is how cute they are. I tend to lean on the ones that help with survival, and he's all about the damage.
Thank you.
I'd institute a rule where he can only use the cute ones, but the giraffe one gives an experience bonus, and we really don't need any extra help increasing our level gap.
I only have 2 points.
I
I have
have
6.
6.
Oh, good lord. See, this is why I don't get anything
Magic A,
done.
red trigger Y.
Of all the different setups you can run, I tend to fall into the category of finding something that works and sticking with it the entire game. When we get going, I just end up forgetting that there are other options to choose from. On top of that, he's usually the one finding all the different collectibles. Half the time, I only switch weapons because he finds a new one he likes and I just end up grabbing whatever one he dropped.
Into the frog.
I like when a game gets a little button mashy every now and then, because sometimes it's just fun moving my thumbs and getting complimented for it. I feel like a badass pulling off hits and combos even when I don't know how to repeat them if I wanted to. He'll lean over and ask me how I did something, and I'll just ramble off some random combination of inputs and hope he doesn't catch on to my bluff.
Hold the line, Taryn.
Ah!
Hold the line.
Anytime death is inconsequential so long as your co-op partner revives you, I feel 10 times more relaxed, but also play 10 times riskier. Since we don't lose money or experience on death, there's not really much to lose unless we both die, so I have no issues throwing myself right into danger. I feel like those segments where he revives me over and over again for 10 minutes are the most fun for me, because ironically, I feel invincible.
Help me. How are you down again?
I don't know.
Oh.
On the flip side of that, the absolute most stressful moments for me are when he goes down. When my safety net gets yanked out from under me, I suddenly am all too aware of how vulnerable I am.
It's up to you.
You're down again?
Yeah.
Shit.
If we both die, then we have to restart the level, which can definitely put a damper on the evening.
I'm downed.
Ah!
Weird timing, I know.
Oh my god.
Oh no, Tarn.
Thank God I'm CPR certified, because I do not want to finish the level alone.
Okay. That was not the cleanest victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Oh, baby.
Hey, we're going in.
Even when the game isn't going exactly our way, we still find ourselves having a good time. If we get caught up in a game over loop, it's still nice because we're leveling up and getting stronger each time we wipe. Technically, that should make it easier to try again, but that assumes that we actually improved and learned from our mistakes. Failing upwards is kind of our specialty though.
I did not enjoy being stuck behind it. I'll give you that.
No, that was a weird.
Let's get out of here. Are we still stuck back here? Like, what?
No.
Why are we stuck back here? How do we get out of here? Hard help.
It's fun that we get to work together and then occasionally fight each other. We spend most of the time being a dynamic duo. I freeze and he zaps. We work our way upstream, fighting against the absolute onslaught of enemies till we eventually get to the boss fight. Then it's time to throw down and teach him not to mess with us.
Look at how much health. Did you see how much damage I did?
Yeah, also you were riding a shark.
After we're victorious, out of breath from battling, and done collecting the loot, you think we could finally drop our guard. But it's not over. Oh no, only one of us is leaving here alive.
No, what the hell? Oh my god.
Yeah, I get to kiss the
Wow.
princess. Mwah! Yeah.
The real prize is getting to stomp him for once. Kissing the princess is just bragging rights. I just wanted to quickly mention that we started a Discord server and it's been super fun getting to know everyone. The link's in the description if you're interested. Love ya and see you next week.